Daily Mad News. Mad News. Daily Mad News. Mad News. Daily Mad News. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Mad News with your host, Efo Pizzo, coming to you live and direct from the Mad News headquarters right here in London. So, what is the Mad News for today? Daily Mad News. According to the Telegraph here, the money section of the Telegraph, there's a big headline there that says, Bank ordered to snoop on pensioners. The new fraud laws aim to claw back £9.6 billion by 2030. So let's go deeper into this story. Daily Mad News. Banks will be required to monitor pensioners' bank account and share payments data with the government under the new fraud bill. The Telegraph understands. The account of all those receiving three benefits, including universal credit, pensions credit, and employment support allowance, will be monitored for fraud and error under measures being proposed to clock back 9.6 billion by 2030. New powers will be granted under the Public Authority Fraud, Error and Recovery Bill, which is due back in the House of Lords this month. The legislation will require banks to share information with the Department for Works and Pensions (DWP) to identify incorrect benefit payments.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
An estimated 9.5 billion was lost last year due to benefit overpayments and fraudulent applications, equivalent of 3.3% of total benefit bill.
Mamma mia!
While the scheme will be aimed at those on universal credit and other employment benefits, it will also include retirees in receipt of pension credit. An estimated £610 million in pension credit was overpaid because of the DWP error last year, with £270 million of which was a result of fraud.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
He actually continues there. Banks forbidden for telling customers. Daily Mad News. Let's get deeper into this story. It says there, banks forbidden from telling customers. Financial institutions will have to share data with DWP and will be forbidden from telling their customers that they have done so.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
In broad fraud and error, ministers will be able to demand the money is repaid directly from a relevant account.
Okay, bye-bye.
The government insisted that it will not have access to bank accounts and that decision about benefit entitlement will be taken by a human.
Okay, bye-bye.
It said it comes just weeks after HMRC restarted controversial direct recovery powers, which allow it to take underpaid tax directly from bank accounts where what is owed is more than £1,000. Daily Mad News. Another headline is there. Say UK bank shocks pensioner. New withdrawal limits start 27th of September 2025. Not only are they monitoring the bank account, there's actually putting stops on the amount of money the pensioners can withdraw.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
So it says from the 27th of September 2025, the way pensioners and everyday customers take out cash in the UK will change. And everyday customers, wow. Banks are tightening daily withdrawal limits, part of a broader shift towards digital banking and fraud prevention.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
While regulators insist no one will be cut off from their own money, pensioner groups are sounding alarms that the changes risk sidelining older people who still depend on cash for daily living. Wow. Daily Mad News. What new rules mean for pensioners? Let's go through this. Starting from the 27th of September 2025, Daily withdrawal cards will be standardized across major banks, ranging from £250 and £500. Customers needing £1,000 plus will usually have to visit a branch, show ID, and in many cases, give at least 24-hour notice.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
For £1,000, you have to give a bank 24-hour notice. Premium accounts may have slightly higher limits, but this won't apply to everyone. For pensioners who like to withdraw their entire monthly pension in one go, this could be a major adjustment. Instead, they will need to make multiple smaller withdrawals.
Mamma mia!
Or plan visit to a branch for larger sums.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Guys, we know in most of these rural areas here, most of those local branches have closed. So it's more or less impossible for people to literally walk over to their local branch anymore. So now, there's a, I was saying it months ago that there's a one cash. Like 3 months ago, I was saying it, there's a one cash. Now, this is a manifestation of it because old people in their retirement age, I mean, somebody might want to go on holiday right now. I mean, you've reached retirement, you might want to go on a cruise store, on a cruise ship or something like that, and just go from London to Greece to Athens to, you know, one of those virgin holidays. But you can't do that anymore because you have literally a daily limit between 250 to 500 pounds per day. Daily news. Let's go through the charts, right? So this is the new withdrawal method for everybody right now. ATM cash point withdrawal, you can withdraw up to £200 to £500 per day. Yeah. How to exceed limit, it is not possible at the ATM. So obviously, if you withdraw your daily amount, you have to wait for the next day. In branch, yeah, if you go to the branch, if you have a flexible account, you can withdraw up to £1,000. And you have to give them prior notice. You have to let them know 24 hours in advance that you're coming to take £1,000. I mean, so if you have a premium account, I mean, if you're the ballers that have a premium account, you can withdraw up to £750 plus, it varies. And if you want to exceed that, that's up to the bank discretion.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Daily news. Day-to-day impact. They're talking about budgeting stress. Older adults who prefer envelopes or cash for groceries, rent, or church donations may find it disruptive. Access problems. With thousands of branches and ATMs already closed, rural pensioners facing extra travel just to manage money. Social habits. Local markets, community events, and small shops in villages often remain cash only, keeping reliance on notes and coins high. So there will be no donation for none of the pastors anymore.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Even though there's concerns raised by pensioner groups, these are the concerns raised by the pensioners groups. Charities such as Age UK says they rule risk financial exclusion. Not all pensioners have smartphones, debit cards, or confidence in digital payment. Campaigners want higher withdrawal allowance for over 65s, exemptions for people with disabilities or those living in rural areas, commitment that post office and shared banking hubs remain funded to bridge the gap. Daily news. This is going to open doors for a lot of these fraudsters to start calling these old people and call them solo lo 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 lo.
Hello, my name is Patel.
Daily news. Solo lo 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 lo.
Hello, we're from the HMRC. We're trying to migrate you into that digital ID wallet. Can you give us your name and your national insurance number, please?
This is going to be a up for fraudsters.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
This move is going to make a lot of old people vulnerable to fraudsters, because now fraudsters are going to start calling them up now about giving them their name and the national insurance number so they can do fraud on these old people. I mean, because none of these old people are actually, some of them are silver surfers, but some of them don't even know anything about this technology. I mean,
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
anyway, let's go into another headline. Daily Mag News.
A shocking update has arrived for millions of UK pensioners. Starting October 2025, new banking regulations tied to pension payments are being enforced by the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP. These changes are being called some of the harshest adjustments ever implemented because they affect every single pensioner, regardless of income, savings, or circumstances. The rules are designed to crack down on fraud, improve monitoring of pension distributions, and ensure that only eligible pensioners are receiving benefits. However, they also come with stricter identity checks, tighter bank controls, and potential payment freezes for those who do not comply. From October, all pensioners must undergo enhanced identity verification with their banks. This includes updated photo ID checks, proof of address, and in some cases, biometric verification. Many older pensioners who have never updated their passports or driver's licenses may find this especially challenging. This means if a pensioner delays or fails to provide the required documents, their payments could be halted temporarily. The government insists this process is to prevent fraud, but charities warn that elderly people without valid ID may suffer financial hardship. All pensioners must re-verify their ID with banks. Payments could be frozen if identity is not confirmed. Biometric checks may be introduced in certain banks. Older pensioners without passports or licenses may struggle most.
Daily Mag News.
It strikes me that we do have a darkening economic situation. Inflation is a lot more persistent than anybody thought it was going to be. The government's ability to borrow, issuing gilts, becoming more and more expensive with almost every week that goes by. But here's my problem with it. 2 Fridays ago, I got my pension statement through. I looked through it, and it said from 2027 that this pension pot of mine will be subject to inheritance tax. And I thought, why the hell did I bother? Why did I bother all through the 90s and the early noughties to put money aside every year? Didn't buy new cars, didn't go to Barbados. I put the money aside thinking not only is it a pension for me, but if I drop down dead, it's money for the family. And I think if they were to do these things in this budget, it is a direct attack on thrift, a direct attack on saving. And people think, the hell with it, we'll spend it all down the pub or elsewhere, and when we get old, the state will simply look after us.
Daily Mag News. Even the politician Nigel Farage is even complaining about his own pension statement. So, I mean, for a young person getting to that pension age right now, moving towards there, I mean, for those of us in the 40s and stuff, this is ridiculous. We need to start preparing for our own pension, because you cannot rely on the state right now for anything towards your old age. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. For the pensioners out there, I feel for you, man. This is ridiculous.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Daily Mag News. So, what do you think? What do you think out there? Do you think the government is doing the right thing, making the right move with this AI and these headlines? Snooping on people's bank account, especially the pensioners? Do you think it's all right for the way they're going on about it? Or do you think there's an other agenda behind this? Let me know what you think if you're not too scared to put your views and opinions out there. And if you like what I do, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Daily Mag News. Until I see you again on the next episode of the Daily Mag News. It's your boy F. Bizzo, and I'm out. Daily Mag News. Mag News. Daily Mag News. Mag News. Daily Mag News.